The irony of ironies. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain on your wedding day, which actually isn't ironic. It's just bad luck. And pretty much all of Alanis Morissette's song is about bad luck and not irony. I'm not sure that this qualifies as irony, but you can also let me know that in the comment section. I will say that it's good luck, probably, that I did a video about my YouTube channel dying and all of a sudden it's resurrected my YouTube channel. I just don't know what to make of it. But first, Birch Gold is a sponsor now of the show, and I've been really grateful to everybody who's texted Alison to get their free info kit on gold to support the show. If you're not following the news, the US dollar took a massive hit in June when Saudi Arabia did not renew its 50-year petrodollar deal. Since 1974, Saudi Arabia has sold oil solely in US dollars, and it was a huge boon for our global economic dominance. Now they want other options other than the US dollar. So if there is less demand for the US dollar, we all have been seeing what's going on with the US economy and inflation. What happens to the dollar? And that's why a lot of people are turning to precious metals. And if you're interested in it, go to Birch Gold. They've been in business over 20 years. They've helped tens of thousands of people with their savings. If you want to convert your savings, your retirement, your 401k, your IRA into physical gold, and you want to support the show, you could just get your info kit. There's no obligation. Text Alison to 989898. What you're about to see analytically is really nothing compared to what I used to garner in views on YouTube. It was an average. This would have been an average day. This would not have been a big news day. But this is big for me because normally if I crack 1,000 views on a video, then that's a big deal. And I'm going to read you some comments on this video too, because it's been interesting to see the reaction. Now, right now, if you're watching this live, you're not watching on YouTube because I don't go live on YouTube anymore. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching a taped, shorter segment of it. And I will address that immediately because there were some comments about, well, what do you expect? You always tell people to go to other websites, right? Like Locals, AlisonMorrow.locals.com, or you can be on my editorial board. You get to put questions in ahead of time for interviews. It's $5 a month. It's a great value. And yeah, I do prioritize Locals because there are people on Locals who are willing to donate consistently every month to keep the content going. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with watching for free on YouTube. It's just that this is a business. And if there are people who are willing to put their money up to keep the business going, then yeah, their comments, I can't put everybody's comments in and ask everybody's questions. Their questions are read. And it's a way for me to also add value to the show because there are a lot of great questions that come out. And so there were YouTube comments about, they were kind of complaining about, you just act like YouTube is kind of a receptacle for everybody else. Well, I mean, there is a little bit of truth to that, I guess. I'm not going to deny that I kind of have lowered YouTube on the list, and there are several reasons for that. Number one is that, a couple years ago, I had to make very serious decisions about what we could say or could not say on YouTube because I was getting suspended and I was about to lose my account. I got tired of telling my guests to police their language, not only because they're bad at it. I had a lot of guests who either forgot or they just didn't care. And, they went on and lived their life, but I'd get suspended. And, I just got tired of getting those emails from YouTube about how I had another video removed. And I got tired of telling my guests that they had to self-police. And I didn't want to police them either. I mean, this whole channel really took off because it was about giving another perspective, and you just can't do that. So yeah, so there's that factor. And, why would I prioritize an outlet that does not have consistency with being a landlord, a good landlord? Because I'm like opening my business in their office, and then every once in a while I show up and there's a lock on the door and I don't know how to get it off. So I started doing all my live streams on the other platforms and then just uploading a clip to YouTube that was safe. And honestly, it was a win-win because frankly, it seems that the YouTube viewers don't really like to watch long form content anyway. They prefer to watch quick 10-minute clips. And YouTube's algorithm also prioritizes watch time. So, not watch time, watch percentage. It used to be watch time. So you used to get you would get some energy from the YouTube powers that be if somebody watched 20 minutes of your hour-long video because they were still watching 20 minutes. But now it really seems to be percentage viewed. So if you do an hour video and they watch 20 minutes, actually that's not a very high percentage. These are the analytics. This video has gotten 14,699 views since it was published. And sometimes this lags. So this could actually be a lower number than what if I checked in my phone, which I'm not going to do right now because my phone is not near me. This could actually be higher right now, but this is significant for me. Look, I mean, right here, this says that my typical view is between 680 and 930 views. That's so sad. That is so sad because that would have been like a nosedive video for me back in the day. Like, oh man, did I forget to make it public? I mean, what did I do? So it's just really interesting to see that. And then also it says performance, it's 13,800 more views than usual. So 13,000, almost 14,000 views more than usual at, getting close to 15,000 views. And it says it's got 920 more watch time hours than normal at just 1,000 watch time hours, which is not really that much. I got 320 new subscribers. And guess how much I made? $23. Who's hitting the casino with me later? $23. Now, this is something I do have questions about because I don't know if it's normal for people right now at 15,000 view video to bring in $23. I don't know if that's low. It's definitely not high. I don't know if it's average. I don't really like to ask other people what they're making on their videos. It feels like I'm asking them what they make for a living, and it just feels kind of creepy. So I haven't done a whole lot of research there. But I just think this is so weird because the whole video was about how terrible all my videos are doing. And then all of a sudden, this video does really well. And there's a reason why. I'm going to tell you the reason why. Let me take a quick sip of water. Okay. I was talking to my old News with Booze co-host, Eric Hunley, about this. And he knew right away. And this is a Reddit post. This is from beginning of the year. What's the deal with all the YouTubers quitting or scaling back? And that's my farm channel. In case you want to follow the farm channel, Off Gridish Living. Okay, because I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But go to Off Gridish Living. Find us on YouTube. Look at this. I found a few of these videos just really quickly doing a Google search. I don't know any of these people. So I don't know if they're terrible or great or what. I just looked at the titles. Why so many YouTubers are quitting right now. And this one, YouTubers are quitting. Here's why. And here's another one. Why are YouTubers quitting in 2024? I'll play you a few clips of these. I thought, some of them were interesting. But this was my video. I was talking about the YouTube channel dying, and then it was the Global Alliance for Responsible Media at All Responsible. Interesting. I was just listening to Ryan Christian of The Last American Vagabond talking about how GARM, which is really, it's a kind of a crazy coalition, I guess you'd call it, of advertising elites and business elites, and it's an arm of the World Economic Forum, and it basically kind of details like safe content for responsible advertising. And basically, in other words, if your content is not aligned safely with their outline of what advertisers should be aligned with, then you shouldn't get advertising money. And so I was wondering, well, maybe GARM has had an effect on me, not because they're like pointing at Alison, but because I'm in the naughty club. And so we've all been relegated to our little naughty corner. And is that part of the problem? And there was a congressional hearing about this. And so I was talking about it. Ryan Christian said that he hasn't heard hardly anybody say that Twitter recently aligned itself with GARM, even as Elon Musk is talking about like being this free speech platform and everything. And that there's a little bit of smoke and mirrors here because this has become like a real conservative talking point. But does anyone in the higher ups, like, is it the same old playbook, even if the front facing image says otherwise, I just throw that out there because I didn't know that about Twitter, but that's what Ryan said, that that even Twitter is aligned. I mean, YouTube is definitely aligned with GARM. So I leave that there. Okay. A few of the comments I just want to show, which I thought were, I mean, there's a lot of comments here. But this is the first video that has popped up in my feed in a good 6 months. Then someone talking about how they vaporize their comments all the time. Just 1/3, at least a good 1/3 of my comments just vanish. And I have heard people say that they're getting frustrated with YouTube as a user because of this kind of censorship as well, and moving to other platforms. Alison, please don't be discouraged. You're one of the most important independent journalists out there, and your work is very important. There was somebody else who said you're very nasally and you put no effort into production value. Take that. We got fiber internet now. All right. You better take it back. YouTube is such a racket. I wish I could go with Rumble, but there's too much stuff here on YouTube. And it's changing, but I can totally understand that. YouTube is throttling you. The criminals at YouTube are unsubscribing people from your channel. I know this because I just checked my own subscription to your channel and it was gone. Way you can tell this was done illegally by YouTube is that when you go in to subscribe, you'll find the bell has already been selected. You don't have to do it separately. This means they secretly unsubscribed you rather than you somehow not having been subscribed in the first place, in which case the bell would be empty. Very interesting. But I knew that, and I said that in my video. I think people are being unsubscribed. My theory on this is that if you're not being recommended a video, which a lot of these people say that they just haven't seen a video in a year or so, I think YouTube will unsubscribe you from my channel because you just haven't watched in a while. I should say too, like, to just disconnect from technocracy for a second. I do have a PO box, and I really loved getting some mail. I would show you. I just put a card together for somebody, but I love getting the mail from people. We just got this card from Sherry and Chip. Very nice. Thank you, Sherry and Chip. They are consistent supporters. Keep up the search for truth. We appreciate you. Dear Alison, I hope you know how special you are to all of us, and we hope you have or had a happy 4th of July. So send me some mail, P.O. Box 3355, Denellen, Florida, 34432. Best ways that you can support my work too is the wine club. If you've not signed up for the wine club, but you're a wine drinker, consider it. You will get 6 bottles of amazing wine every 3 months. So that's every quarter, right? Every quarter, you're going to get 6 amazing bottles of wine. These come from regions of the world where it is very difficult to access these grapes. They are like in dangerous places, in very dry places, in very high altitude places. They're the extremist of the extremist wines. You can't get them at the grocery store. They're extremely limited production, and they are from places where there's fewer pesticides. The grapes work a lot harder to stay alive, and so the wine tastes better, in my opinion. And it's just a great way to support the show. If you go to AlisonWinePromo.com, you can sign up and you'll get regular mailings about the wine. I keep meaning to post the video with a guy who's like their wine hunter. I just keep getting pushback because of interviews and whatnot, but I've got that ready to go. The guy Diego, who he scouts the world for the most amazing and small batch limited wines. And I think he's just so fascinating. Like, this is his job. So go to AlisonWinePromo.com. It's a great way to have a gift always on hand too. You'll have 6 great bottles of wine to bring to a party, to give for a holiday, a birthday present. And it's a great way to support the show. So you can tell people this is a free speech wine. This is wine that keeps Alison going. Go check out her channel, put a note on it with a link, to one of my sites, and bring on a new viewer. And you can do the wine to do that.